Okay, today we're going to look at saving original old finishes using the reviver, the shellac, the polishing rubber, the beeswax and the steel wool. This is all combined in the kit which we do to enable you to get a good result on basically any sort of surface with a finish on it already. We're going to be working on this cedar panel here, which has still got the original finish to it, but is obviously very tired and worn and with scratches and imperfections. So the first thing we do is lay it down flat. We grab our reviver, we give it a good shake, a bit of fine steel wool which we've cut off earlier. You grab that just like so. Initially use it like a brush, so you're coating the surface, just doing a section at a time. And once you've coated that area that you want to treat, then you start rubbing a little bit harder to get out and even up the finish. So I'm just working that through now. Only doing small sections at a time because it's important to take it off before it dries, otherwise it will become a sticky surface. So you can already see from that it's bringing the colour out, and it's a very quick and simple operation. So we just rag with a bit of cotton cloth, just rag that off and wipe that off from there. You can see there's a little paint splatter there. You can even just get that with your fingernail, which has come off already. I'm just cleaning that up from there. Another rag off. Basically then that section's done. As you can see here, we've worked the outside of this frame, so we've actually prepped it ready to receive the shellac finish, which is basically what's already on there, but we're just putting another sealing surface over the top. So we've worked the outside area of this frame, and we've probably spent about 3 minutes on it so far, so it hasn't been a lot of time involved. And the next step is to seal it with the French polish or shellac, which we're about to show you. So now we're about to undertake the polishing process, which is basically French polishing using a polishing rubber where you're filtering shellac through the face of the rubber and imparting a very thin coat onto the surface. So we open up the jar, and inside is a cotton cloth with cotton wool inside, and this is the medium which it takes the shellac, and then we're going to actually filter that through there. So the important part is just a tiny bit of French polish or shellac in there. Close up your rubber, hold it in your hand like so. It really doesn't matter how you fold the rubber as long as you don't have any creases in the face. I like to pinch the front and then give it a little twist at the back. Now the important part here is always squeeze it out as hard as you can onto the surface of the paper. You can see that little bit of polish there coming out, the excess. So it's important the actual face of the rubber is very dry. So that's ready to go. And it's just a matter of little S shapes or figure of 8, but it is very quick because you're already working with what's already there. And you can see that actually responding already. So super fine. You're just sealing that surface again. It evens up the finish and is a good preparation for the beeswax polish to follow. So now we've sealed the right-hand door there with shellac, and as you can see the contrast is quite dramatic. Now you can keep going with the shellac, building that finish up to as much as you like. There's no set rules there until you're happy with the depth of finish, and then you stop. Basically then we'll leave that overnight and then finish it with the beeswax polish, which I'll show you shortly. So now we're working on a small picture frame, which I'll show you. It's got quite a heavy finish and quite a heavy build up to the finish. So we're going to just ease that back with the reviver. Again, just put it on like a brush, very lightly. And then once you've coated the surface evenly, use a bit more pressure and start rubbing. You can see that colour coming through, which is what you want to see. I'm not going to over clean this because I do like to have that variation in colour where the build up is, which is quite attractive. Okay, I'm happy with the colour on this frame now, and we're about to put the sealing coat of shellac on. So again, just a very fine amount in the back of the rubber, and remember, hold it flat in your hand, turn it over, pinch it with the side of your fingers, and then just keep that face without crease free. Again, the important part, you can even dip it in a little bit of metho there just to clean the face. Always squeeze out as heavily as you can on the paper. Now the point of the rubber can get into these tricky little areas with the moulding there, but again, just simple light strokes. It's a very quick process. As you can see there, that's already receiving, putting on super fine coats. So you can keep going with this because the coats are so thin, they're drying almost instantly, so you're able to go over the top of it again. And it's just personal choice how far you want to go with that depth of finish. And then basically leave it overnight and then beeswax the next day. You can see that richness of colour coming through there. Now we're about to apply the beeswax polish. Now this is a very simple process. The main thing is have a cotton cloth there ready, and you always leave this in the tin so it doesn't dry out. Just smear it on quite fine. Again, just working a single surface without getting too far ahead of yourself. I'm just pushing that into the grain. I'm still putting that on very, very fine. And then grab your chucks cloths, which are brilliant for the buffing the wax, and then buff it with the grain straight away. And it's as simple as that. So now I've shown you how to use the reviver, the sealing coat of shellac using the polishing rubber, and then the beeswax finish as your final. Now even to the extreme where the finish is quite heavy, that's actually come out of a chook shed, so it had a lot of dirt and dust and congealed finish on it. You can get that beautiful patina in 15 minutes.